guys, we are live.
Hello.
Hashtag live if you are here live, and hashtag replay if you are here for the replay. It's been a while, okay? I understand. It's been a while, but I'm glad that we are back, and I brought in Robert today, Robert Montgomery. And
Yes, that's right.
the reason why I brought him in for you guys is to deliver a ton of value. He manages to do something that I have rarely seen anyone do, maybe because I have no idea, but whenever he posts on Facebook, whenever he does something, the engagement is completely through the roof, like hundreds of likes, hundreds of comments. And I was like, what? What? How is this? So I want to bring him in here to, first of all, Robert and I know each other, and get to know him a little bit more, but also so that you guys will know who he is as well. Because he has a lot of cool advice and interesting tips that will increase your engagement every time you post on Facebook or have something to say. So without further ado, let me hand it over to Robert. Robert, a lot of the people in my group might know you, might not know you, but for those who don't know you, can you tell us a little bit about I love to hear like your origin story.
Yeah.
Also, people will be coming in via Zoom, so I'm gonna make the speaker view and mute everyone who comes in through Zoom.
All right, awesome. Yeah, so my name is Robert, last name is Montgomery. So just like Alabama, I always make that joke. And actually, I'm a network marketer. I don't really put that out there, but I really am big into engagement, organic engagement on Facebook. And so my biggest passion, really where it stemmed is my parents actually have been entrepreneurs for a long, long time. So I was from a little kid. I grew up watching them in the footsteps and everything. And obviously, like us all, we don't always get exactly right into the entrepreneurial game, but we do learn through life essentially. So I worked at 9-to-5 jobs. I've worked at Verizon. I have a tech background. I have a lot of like different technology jobs. Like I've worked at almost anywhere you can imagine, if you name it, and I've worked in a version of that. So, and the biggest thing for me with technology and social media is it's really either truly loved, and it's praised, or you got a total opposite where everyone thinks social media is like this biggest farce, or it's not good at all. And there's really no middle ground between the two, right? There's a lot of love and then there's a lot of hate for it. And so what I looked at it, and when I started looking into Facebook, and it just became more of a passion of mine, is I'm like, okay, how can I take a platform that's free? It's a free platform to begin with. And how can I leverage my businesses or my audience or people that I connect with? How can I do that? And so I started really, really getting into the algorithms of Facebook. And it's been a couple years now. And a lot of people think you have to be in Facebook for like ages upon ages, or you have to have an original 2004 account on Facebook. I always make that joke. But really, honestly, you don't, because you can actually start with an organic profile or a free account, and you can go up the ladder and keep connecting and building with people. And so that's actually what I've done with my personal page, and it's actually worked out really well. And I've been actually away from the 9-to-5 job arena for over 3 years now. So for 3 years, I know that may not seem a lot, but and nowadays, at least you take a leap of faith, right? So that's actually my biggest, my why was to get out of that matrix kind of thing, get out of that thinking, because I've always felt like, man, there's always something great to offer, and why not take a free platform like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, not even now TikTok, right? TikTok is another one. And why not take that platform and make someone on the other screen feel great and happy, and make their day. And so that's actually what I teach, and I teach psychological engagement. It's called. It's not just engagement; it's the psychology behind the big blue, which I call Facebook. And so there's a lot to it. There's not just you know, liking people's posts. There's actually, how are you following up with them? How is the algorithm you know, reflecting your movements on Facebook, or your habits on Facebook? And so one of the biggest things I love teaching is that we all know there's a news feed on Facebook, right? We all know that. But what happens is, there's a big problem is, people, they'll either get home from work, or they'll first log on Facebook for the first time in a long time, or they're just a person that loves using Facebook, but they don't really realize that one of the biggest value tips I'll tell you right away is when you actually begin to know that the post in front of you. So for instance, I'll give a great example. Kim, you know exactly what I messaged you this right after it happened, but you actually loved my, I think it was post. It was a picture, profile picture or whatever.
Yeah,
it was a post of mine.
Let's share screen.
Sure.
I'm gonna go to your profile because I want people to know that, you know, I'm bringing you on not as like a random person who's talking with your face, but I just want to show them also the type of engagement that you get, to kind of show them, hey, like, look, oh, sorry about that, Robert. But
yeah.
264 people and 280 comments, and a lot of these people are sending him love. But not only just you know, these posts, it's like a lot of engagement per post. But go ahead, share your tip about what you told me to them.
Sure. So essentially what, and this may be new, this may be not new at all to a lot of people, but what we have to get in the habit is knowing that Facebook actually did change their algorithm about 2.5, 3 years ago, okay? So when they changed that algorithm, what you'll notice is Facebook has turned away from more of a, still it's a paid platform. Obviously, you're going to be using it for paid ads for businesses, brick and mortars, or even online and all that stuff. But what you'll notice is, you'll tend to notice is it's more organic. So you're going to find people that you know, post about their wedding or cover pictures like that or stuff like that. And what you can do is you can use that to an advantage point. And you can take this organic system that they built and actually turn it into total profit for your business. So that's actually what I've done. So a lot of people are like, wait a minute, all the likes and loves, that's cool and all, that's great. But what about actually turning into money and profit? And so that's actually one of the things I have been able to accomplish. And it's actually connecting with the right people. So if you want to scroll up to the way top of the profile, at the top, what you'll notice is something, and most people overlook this, but it's off to the intro. And Facebook actually builds their your profile right, you know, nice and unique into their entire website. And what you want to do is you want to tweak your page. You want to make it where this intro right here has stuff that are keywords about your lifestyle, whether you're a software, you know, Chrome boss, like here with Kim, or you want, you know, you're an avid mountain climber, someone like that. You want to make sure to include that in the intro, because what happens is, and I'm sure Kim, you exactly know what I'm talking about, is like there's a suggested friends, right? Like the people that like Facebook, you know, suggest to you. And so that's actually what is amazing, is if once you start completing out what they already have given you, you actually already attract people without a tool or not. Facebook tool and or not. So that's what's really crazy is if you want to go in the news feed, I just want to show you something, a really good tip for your viewers. You just go on the main page of Facebook.
I muted myself. Okay. Wait, let me, before you continue, I want to say hey to everyone who joined. Hey, Nhi, hey,
Hmm.
Jesse, hey, Stefan, hey, Antonio, hey, Ashley, hey, Muhammad, hey, Phil, hey, Trevor, hey, Brent, hey, Naji, hey, Brian, hey, Derek, hey, Dan, hey, Zeki, and hey, Frank, hey, Haley, hey, Ed, hey, Eric, hey, everyone. Thanks so much for joining
Thank
today.
you,
I
guys.
was kind of like, oh, I was gone for a month. Like, I don't even know if anyone's going to show up. But you guys are here and you are learning from Robert. But what do you want me to do, Robert? You want me to?
Oh, just if you could go to the main page of Facebook, the main home page. Yeah, just to click the F there.
Oh, the
Yeah.
main homepage.
Yep, the main home page.
All
Yep.
right.
So this is my favorite part. If you want to scroll into like maybe find a post of your friends, and I want to teach you guys this. It's pretty awesome stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna scroll
So
to a post of a friend. Franco is my friend.
yes, okay. So that is he is live there. And you can always scroll to. How about scroll to like a real post? And that's a live, but if you
Scroll to
trying
a
to find,
real post. Okay,
yes,
that's my
like
friend.
okay, that's a good example. That's a group. But how about like an actual non-group post, real quick? If you maybe you'll
Okay,
find it. There it is. There it
Antonio,
is.
he's my
Perfect.
friend.
Okay.
He is in
Okay.
Chrome Bus.
Awesome. That's perfect. So a really good example of the organic algorithm on Facebook, and a lot may know this. You guys maybe brand new to you guys, but essentially what happens is the moment you actually hover your mouse over and click the love button on that post,
All
what
right.
happens? What happens with that is if you were to make a brand new post, you're like, hey, I'm out here in beautiful California, and I just was able to launch 5 more apps on the Chrome store and all that. What happens is because you loved his post and organically tells Facebook in the background of the algorithm that because you did that, essentially it's like tag you're it when we were kids. It actually throws your post automatically into his feed. And it's really quite incredible to think that, wait a minute, to get actual free traffic, all I have to do is engage with a newsfeed. And pretty much, yes, it is like that. And I can teach you some other things. Like also comments can be very important as well. Like meaningful comments, right? Not just like, oh, that's awesome, but things like with emojis and stuff like that really kickstarts the algorithm of Facebook, right? And so that's one of the things that I love teaching is right there, like because he's online, there's a very high potential that right there, there's a chance that he would see your post. If you were to do another thing, I'll teach you guys is comments. So if you once you get a comment on your post, you'll get a love and then you'll get the comment. What happens is, and it's pretty crazy. So you can go back to your profile
Okay.
and this is what I call is you were just out there in the ocean and you're fishing you're fishing for some fish, and essentially when you reply to a comment on your main page there, so if you scroll and then let's go, you probably got a comment. I'm not too maybe.
No, I just
Okay, well,
posted
even
this. I don't think I have a
okay.
lot of comments. Oh, okay, I have some
Okay.
comments in my live video.
Right, and you're live. So you could reply to someone that you didn't reply, or at least comment on your own post. And what that's going to do, even right there, like boom, you could even do like a little, thanks, kind of like that. What's going to happen is eventually, and he will see it in his news feed, and whether he engages on it or not is up to him. But because you replied to an old post, it actually throws your old post back into the news feed, but because you loved his post, now he's seeing your post. It's pretty crazy. So a lot of people are like, wait a minute, okay, now does that mean I have to give all this love and that? And yes, you do, but also the mere fact that knowing once you click love and like and you comment as well, so you do both, or typically I really keep around just the love button. As you know, Kim, I will like go on your page and I'll give you like a love or something like that on your posts. What you'll notice though is like even if she goes to my page and eventually her newest post will be right in my feed. So that's exactly what happens when you do engage with people. It throws it right back into my news feed. and it's actually quite awesome. So
So let
that's
me
one of the.
summarize what you said, okay? The
Mhm,
points that I got. Definitely have an intro because there is
absolutely.
suggestive friends, and don't just include one thing that you're doing. Also include your lifestyle and what else you do.
Yep.
So, and then another thing is in the news feed, you go to news feed, and if you were to go and heart and like content that's not, you wouldn't do like group specific content, right? You would
Yeah,
love,
exactly. I mean, I always give groups just, I mean, I give groups, like in Facebook there, some support, obviously, just because they're a part of what the community I've built and everything. But yes, like people's individual posts, the moment you do click the button on their posts, ultimately, really what happens with Facebook is if you don't do that, right? So you just skip past their posts, you're just looking at their posts. Facebook will, I don't care how good of content you have, you could just tell everyone that you're going to give them $1 billion each. It won't matter because Facebook is like, well, you haven't necessarily interacted with them. And a lot of, right there alone is going to start putting your content into her feed. Now, whether she starts giving love to yours is a whole different story, but the fact that it's going into her feed is a fact. And that's exactly how I've, in a lot of ways, cracked the algorithm. Now, that's just a tip of the iceberg. A big tip I also like telling people is Messenger is hugely integrated into Facebook, but it's also kind of not. So it's like we always talk about how Messenger is so important, but it also is like its own world, right? And so I want to give a tip on there with Messenger. And I always love telling this to people, but when you connect with people, right? And Kim, I have this habit, but I'll either like love your message or I'll like thumbs it up, right? And so it doesn't mean you get in a habit of like every message that you ever message someone, but as long as it's like closing points, what happens is Facebook actually starts to see, especially in the beginning of a friendship on Facebook, they start finding, wait a minute, this is pretty awesome. Okay, that they're actually friends and they're interacting with each other. Why not keep each other's posts in their feed, right? And so Messenger is huge. I don't know if there's questions allowed, but if anyone has a question, I can answer. And
yeah, there's people asking questions. Hey, Zeki.
sweet.
Hey, and Tony has a question. He said, doesn't that mean their feeds will populate ours though? If you go to your feed and you start hearting people, does that mean their feed will populate our, wait, it's already your feed. So
I think I kind of know the
asking,
question.
hmm?
Um, I think I kind of know the question a little bit. I'm trying to read into it, but essentially, like the more you start clicking, the love and like button, kind of stuff like that, and you make a nice comment. Facebook, and it's actually kind of crazy because there's actually 7 steps to Facebook. There's 7 key, and I can kind of touch on it. But essentially, when you make a post, so you're ready to make a post, like for instance, that post right there about Kobe Bryant. Always much love to everyone affected. It's just horrible, right? But the thing is I did post that, and at first it was like, okay, everyone did post about that, but the mere fact that I was able to get that much love and support towards his family through my friends list was absolutely incredible, because there are a lot of posts out there that got maybe 10 likes, 50 likes, but it's like that much of love, no matter what kind of post there is. I'm always beating the algorithm, right? And so that's huge, because people are like, well, Facebook's one of the biggest platforms on the world. How can we always crack it? And ultimately, they're giving you that blueprint. Every time you always log into the news feed, it's right in front of you. And the mere fact that knowing that once you start engaging with people and really, really connecting with them, they'll always be in your news feed. And that's the funny thing is, because Kim, you engage with myself, right? I mean, it's not like you engage on every post, but because you do engage, That's why you saw that notification pop up. I started seeing your content right in my newsfeed. I didn't have to do a thing. I just I refreshed my iPhone. Next thing you know it, you're right in my newsfeed. And so it's really kind of an amazing thing. And that's another thing we got to get into. Obviously, I love your one extension about clearing out inactive people, right? Like you always in groups and stuff like that. But that's another thing that I've always been passionate and talking about is getting rid of people always that are inactive, right? People that have no purpose, they have no reason to be, you know, you don't want to even be connected with them. So there's a happy medium balance to that, right? Like you always want to make sure, you know, what kind of people you're kind of removing. But that is another thing. Inactive right there. You know, I got 320 on that. And what's really amazing is a lot of people think, wait a minute, okay, so that's cool. You have a lot of this engagement, but what about how often should I post? Because I mean, it's cool that now I'm going to be in their news feed, but what about how often should I post? And that's a good question. So the thing is it's like, you gotta understand, once you reply to one comment, and that's all it takes, one comment, the moment you do that, it actually creates a new post on Facebook. No joke. It's kind of pretty cool to think of it like that. But if I were to go right now, and that's December 27th last year, and I were to reply to that one person right there, John, and I were to just do a couple fire emojis, what happens is it will actually take that post and put it all the way to the top. So if you were to never engage on that post, you typically probably will see that post in your newsfeed. So it's pretty cool. You can revive old posts. Now Facebook has gotten their algorithm has changed a bit on that. So it's not like you can just boost an old post. It used to be kind of like that, but they have changed it where, you know, if you reply to at least 5 comments, not just one, and they're all meaningful comments, so you're like, oh, hey, great to connect. I mean, I haven't connected in a while, that kind of thing. Then Facebook sees that conversation and they throw it to the top. So that's actually how a lot of my peers and people that I connect with, they're able to get their old posts or posts that they barely even make posts. They're able to get that love, you know, on their content.
Oh, there is another question from Bill.
Yeah.
But before that, I want to say hello, Paul. Hey, Calvin. Thanks for joining. Hey, Larry. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Kashik. Hey, Jason. And hey, Ryan. Hey, Priscilla. Hey, Monty. Hey, Iggy.
Welcome, guys.
Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. I have Robert Montgomery and joining us today. If you're just jumping in, we're talking about how does he get this? How is this even possible for him to do these posts and have literally hundreds of just so much engagement? If you're just jumping in now, go ahead and also watch the rest, but watch the replay so that you don't miss his previous points. But Robert is telling us how he does this, and it's really cool. So sorry, I interrupted you. Let me ask Bill's question, because this question is something that I'm asking as well while you're telling me all this. How much time do you spend every day replying to posts if you have like 300 likes and all these comments? Are you completely zapped? Are you in front of your phone? Like what does that look like? That's
an excellent question. So with great power comes great responsibility, and that's really like the quote of Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's really kind of my joke, but let me clear my throat. All right, guys. I'm trying to get over this cold, but that's a really, really good question. And essentially, what you got to remember, back to the point of replying to only a couple comments to keep it in the news feed, right? Because that's the thing, is you're fighting a uphill battle all the time with Facebook. There's always minor tweaks. There's AI now, advanced artificial intelligence, that's always keeping track on how to prioritize things. Wait a minute, let's prioritize maybe CNN or Fox News or whatever fan pages you follow versus your friends, or how can we do that? And so it's always changing little by little in the background. But what hasn't really fundamentally changed is the fact that when you do start getting the love and the reactions on your posts, you want to really look at it like, okay, these not only are potential people to follow up with, talk to, but you also got to realize it doesn't take much engagement to get engagement, as long as you're following up with those people that do give you engagement, if that makes sense. So let's go, Kim gives me love. Well, all right, automatically she gave me, gave my post right there love. Well, what happened is her post was thrown into the news feed, so I'm going to give it love, right? Because I'm just going to respond kindly back. And so essentially the news feed starts working for you. And that's when you're like, wait a minute, bingo, bingo, lights go off. And that's when the news feed starts becoming easier for you. In the beginning, you're kind of basically training the news feed. And there's a thing called Facebook jail. And a lot of people don't know about this. A lot of people do know about this. But it happens when you start engaging too fast. You start loving posts. You're thinking, wait a minute, now, okay, cool, I can conquer the world. I can love 100 posts. And now those 100 people are going to find my posts. Yes, that's true. They will. But are you being real about the engagement? Are you actually genuinely giving that love? And so that's why when Kim, I always give these points out, but she engaged on that post and it was genuine. She's like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. Gave it a love. And before you know it, I start seeing her content in my feed, because Facebook can pick that up. And that's what's really genuine and awesome about it, is the algorithm starts working totally for you, and rather than against you, it's working for you. Now, is how often do I spend? I spend basically, the short answer is anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour before I make a post. Now, mind you, I don't post often. If you can find the interval of times I've posted, so there's January 24th. 26th, okay, so that's a 2-day period. 30th, that's 4, and then you go from there all the way up there, all the way to that date. So we're talking, I don't post that often, right? But what I do when I am not posting, I'm following up. Who loved my post? How can I find them in the newsfeed? How can I go and engage with them? How can I follow them, up with them in Messenger? And this is incredible, because I've actually gotten a lot of people that not only whatever I offer, they're always a lot of my folks that are, I call it my, what's it called, my family. I really call it my Facebook, like, everyone that engages on my posts, like you, Kim, family. Like I consider you guys as my like online family.
Yes.
But that's really what I think's amazing, is because Facebook is like, wait a minute, we pick up the genuine connection between each other. And that's what I love, is like, I didn't have to do a thing. And I actually logged right on my phone and I saw your post, and that's what was really cool. Yeah, and any other questions, but essentially, really, it doesn't take too long to start getting into the algorithm. And it's not like, okay, like just right there, eventually I'm gonna see her post in my newsfeed. I don't know exactly when, but I will. And so that's what I love about it, and it's really great. But yeah, as far as time spent, I would always spend around 30 minutes. What's really cool is pictures, like family pictures, and I always recommend this to anyone starting out into the algorithm. Always make a nice family photo, right? Always make a nice family photo. Have a nice caption on the top, and like, as you can tell on the top, it wasn't just Merry Christmas. It was Merry Navid, and all the other languages that are the main languages in the world. And I wished everyone, to a beautiful, blessed 2020. And that really captures and that's what I was talking a couple, I think, 10-15 minutes ago, about its psychological engagement, right? So if you can get right in their brain, and you're like, wait a minute, they just were happy. They just got happy about seeing my post. And then, you can find my posts vary really, really drastically. And that's what Kim was like, man, I got to get you on here because this is crazy. You make a post about how your heart's broken, or this happened to you, or this amazing thing happened. And it's just like always there. It's always engagement. And I was like, oh, I mean, I appreciate that. I appreciate the compliment. But that's really how you can tap into the, I call it the robots of Facebook, which is the algorithm, but also tap into the minds and hearts of your fellow friends. And that's how you can really get to them. Because I can guarantee you, when you start, and you have not talked to them in a while, and you start, Kim, and they'll get a notification, Kim just loved my post. Oh my gosh, it's like they actually have a higher potential to go to your profile and start following up and like, wait a minute, I haven't found her in a while.
So I haven't ever approached it from that perspective before, where I go on my newsfeed and I like heart a bunch of posts and, first, and I'm looking at all my friends' stuff, and then I make a post. I haven't even thought of that at all before you told me, hey, well, actually, this is kind of new. I didn't really learn this. I just know that whenever I talk to you, you would go and like two of my posts, two of my most recent posts.
Oh, you caught it. Okay, that's a really good tip. And yes, it's true. Anyone you're in Messenger, you always want to be on their profile. Not only just because it's an algorithm major hack, because essentially if you're going to be launching this brand new product that's like absolutely fantastic, and every product I always come across with Kim is she's always giving extreme high value. And it's like I'm like, oh, wait a minute, what's she up to? Not only just out of curiosity, but it's just because it's a really good thing and habit to get into. So really what I go on my phone here, and I'll go in like Messenger, for instance, and I'll have Kim. So I'll have our conversation, and I'll go right to, and it really is funny because it goes from like this, only 2 steps. You click at her profile, click on view page on Facebook, and you're only now we're in 3-4 seconds into your, and just boom, give it a love, give it another love. And now look at that. You're right in the algorithm. So essentially, and this is kind of funny, I think it might work, but let me reply to a comment on that post right there, the December 21st. So that's a older post, and it may not happen, but it's all up on Facebook. It's not. So we're going to reply to a comment. So first I'm going to put some fire emojis on my own post. Okay,
yeah,
now you
Dennis said, Robert, your comments about Facebook algorithm is spot on. One of my British friends is very successful with his Facebook group and makes quote unquote mad money. His posts have literally hundreds of comments, and he engaged with them religiously. And Antonio asks, so I want more clients for affiliate marketing. Should I find my ideal prospects and love their posts?
That's a really good question. I appreciate the compliment and the question. So essentially what you got to remember is you want to be, and this stuck with me, and it came from a really good friend. And he told me, he goes, Rob, if you can just remember one thing, be on people's posts 95% of the time, and you'll always have buyers. And I'm like, whoa, holy crap. That's crazy. That's awesome. So yes, you always want to be on their posts. And I made a post way back, you'd have to scroll for ages. But I talked about, if you loved your haters, your people that you kind of secretly know that are a bit of a hater of yourself, you start loving their wall, like you love 10, 15 posts of them. What's funny is Facebook, you're already tricking the algorithm into making your posts into their feed as long as they're following you as a friend. Now, if they're unfollowed, they're just, they unfollowed you, then of course you can't. But that's, yes. And as far as tapping into, and this is a really good tip for you guys, tapping into people that are of your what's it called? Caliber, like your audience, like someone that you absolutely know, um, that you want to target. For instance, right here, people with the worst past often create the best future, right? So what this is what I do. This is how I prospect my competition. So Kim, what you would have to do is just click on the reaction button there, the 294, and just click it. And then what I do from here is I'm on a computer and I scroll through, so you can keep scrolling, Pat, right there. There's all your people. You can absolutely go through their profile. Well, Randy has 423. Right click his profile. So, and we can do this right now. So we right click his profile and we prospect him. Does he have an intro? Does he reply to comments? Does he get overall engagement, like 70 plus, 50 to 70 plus engagement? Does he reply to the original newest comment, like the comments in the beginning of the post? So let's click, let's see if he did. Yes, he does. These are all key points on adding people, because the last thing you want is someone that's a marketer but doesn't know the engagement game to ultimately build you up and you build them up. And I've found many people, so they find, wait a minute, I had another marketer, they're not going to buy into my product. No, that's not true. They very much have a high potential buying into your product. You start getting to the cycle into the psychological engagement, I always call it. And it's like you start giving a bunch of love right there. I can guarantee you, Kim, you can text me or you can message me later and tell me he probably most likely will engage back. I just know it because Randy's a really good friend of mine. But yes, people like this you want to add and you want to talk to and really vet their profile, just as much as it's just like that, stuff like that, engaging with people. But it's because we're working with an organic profile, an organic based algorithm is why I'm teaching this. It's not because there's a lot of people that go, wait a minute, well, what about sponsor ads and what about fan pages and all that? That's a different story, but we're working with truly organic based website now. It's truly based on real connections, messenger, and adding those people. And don't be shy, guys. You want to build that relationship with people. You really want to, because I've noticed it right there, family travel.
Wow.
That kind of,
So, Robert, like I'm noticing, well, I'm learning so much from you right now and I love it. So thank you so much. But I'm seeing the trend that what you're teaching is unfolding like right before my eyes.
All of my friends, because my profile was set up that way, the people that are friends with me, you can start right clicking on their profiles and finding that their algorithm matched us. It's pretty freaking awesome.
That's
how it
crazy.
Matched us. Yes. And this is not by chance. This is all by the algorithm really working for you. Like I said, before you know it, you're going to be like, wait a minute, I can at least set aside 30 minutes to work on my business, knowing I can organically build it and have really amazing photos of my family and friends out there, and truly build like for instance, I made a post. It was a business post because I do make business posts, and I'll show you examples. So go back on the profile. I think you can scroll down. Yeah, keep scrolling. I'll try to find
a keyword. What keyword?
You could put in, I'm trying to think.
Or I'll just scroll. Be a person of your world. Hey guys, Antonio says, golden nuggets you're dropping, sir. Thank you for the insight. Antonio says, that's pretty insane.
So here's a business post.
Okay.
This is a business post, and this was back when I had that other extension. Obviously, I'm working on other things, but so here's a business post with my mom, and this is a while ago, but you can scroll to the reactions real quick. So this is a business post, and we have 380 on that for a business post. Now, a lot of people have always wondered, that is awesome, you get that engagement, but has it turned into profit? And to answer that question is, I gained about 20 new people of subscribers with this post, And my mom, because we were tagged, so that's another thing that we can talk about way out in the future as far as tag and all that. But because it was tagged with her and she's into high ticket, right? So high ticket sales with companies and helping people with that and mentoring and coaching. What we were able to do is generate in 1 week, and this is I don't like talking numbers, but I just want to give you an example on what you can do when you start networking. We're able to generate $4,500 in 5 days because of this post. It was because it was a tagged post and it was our businesses that we do, and we were able to actually attract those people in our inbox by simply having, it's clearly all business, but it's worded in a way that tricked the algorithm, and I'll explain the key points. So we're talking about, for the anniversary of me quitting my 9-to-5 job, 2+, I gave it 2 to 3 years, okay? But that tricks the algorithm. So automatically it goes, I have no 9-to-5 job, but it actually tricks it to being like, wait a minute, we have to push this to more people because there's a lot of people that need that kind of hope, right? Obviously, there's a lot of people that want to be entrepreneurs and really have that freedom, but that tricks it. Emojis are huge too. So it's not like you overuse them, but you do use them. And so it tricks that. And also, I always want to give back and support the community. So Facebook picks up these keywords. We're always working on better ways to make your business successful. Instead of saying, join our business or join this product today, we're plural, we're always working on better ways to make your business successful. So it's always keywords that you have to really watch it, because back when I was talking about the 7-stage process with Facebook, there is actually 7 stages. There's the timing of Facebook, right? The actual time that it takes to make a post, so you think of it, or the words, but it's also the time of day too. Now I wish Facebook would actually show actually when it was posted at the time, but by going by memory, it was roughly around 5 o'clock. And
this says 8:10 a.m. Oh,
was it
time.
was it okay? Oh,
no,
good.
it could be 5 o'clock your time.
Yes, I think that was there. It was roughly around that. So it was either in the morning. I know it was morning but it's morning. So that's what I'm talking about. Is it's so crazy to think that once you get these keywords and you twist it, because a big common and I don't want to bring out a profile to show you a bad example, so I'm not going to do that. But we have all seen those profiles where it's okay, you'll look at a profile, they'll add you, and you'll find one family photo, but the other posts that they have on their wall that have 5 or 10 likes and loves are share posts about something with Robert Kiyosaki or some sort of business, blah blah blah. And then you'll notice that below that is they're talking about how their product, and they have free shipping for their new CBD product. They're doing that wrong. So you can keep scrolling through my page, but you'll find I never have promoted a product per se. I mean, yes, a product, but it's worded correctly. And so business posts, to getting into the mastery of making a business post, is really, so you're taking the knowledge of organic engagement and you're turning it into more of a business base. So when you do make a business post, you're using the algorithm automatically to your advantage. So key point, giving a love and a like on your posts, on these posts, will be able to turn it into more eyeballs and more leads into your your products and your fan base and your whole community, right?
Yeah.
So stuff like that, that's really. And then when you do make business posts like that, for instance, another business post, you do get that high engagement. It's like to me, I'm so grateful. I'm always grateful when I get the engagement. I'm like, how can I go back? How can I always, give it? How can I always make sure to, for instance, I've connected with a gentleman like him, very great guy. Really worth a great ad.
Oh my gosh. I feel
exactly.
like every single person What?
He's one of my clients. Yes. So I was able to, we've talked before and we've really conversed, but exactly. So the point is the people that are on this page, on my page, are all aligned. Facebook aligned itself. And it was able, you can even look at, for instance, David Dopkins, right click on his profile right there. You will be amazed. You're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. But there you go. There you go. Intro, he does lives. He gets good engagement on lives, gets a good amount of views, and he has a nice Facebook group for his entrepreneurial, Facebook group. And that's really what Facebook starts doing is it starts finding like-minded individuals once you start updating your own profile and you start really working these free methods into your business.
Wow, I'm blown away. Hey, Thomas, are you going to post a replay? Yes, Thomas. This live will be in here, and also you will be able to see the replay after it ends. But who here is getting massive value from this? I know a bunch of you guys are watching. Hey, Eric. Hey, everyone. Hey, Simone. Thanks for joining. Bill says, indeed. Hey, Ryan. You guys are so cool to come here and hang out with us and learn about this crazy Facebook algorithm. It looks like whoever you touch or you're friends with that know this method, they also have the benefit of the huge engagement on their own profile.
It's amazing, and that's the biggest thing that I get so excited is when I start finding, and I'll even message you, Kim, when it starts building organically. I will reach out and be like, I can't believe it. You hit 200 loves or stuff like that. I'm so excited when I have the people that I coach and mentor that get that engagement, because it's like, to me, it's not only helping prospecting and business of your own, but it's like it's already doing what Facebook is kind of already built for, right? But we're in such a habit in society where it's just, we always are, we view things, right? And that's the truth. You have an incredible experience at a cuisine in LA, right? Just a wonderful experience. But little, do we know we could get on our phone that is glued to our hip and we can write them a positive review. But us humans are not necessarily wired. I mean, there are a lot of people like that just absolutely want to always give positive vibes and reviews to everyone. But as you know, as a society, we're always viewing things, viewing billboards, viewing commercials. And it's really amazing that when you can take an algorithm that's already built and designed on human nature and psychology, that when you do give the love and you actually really genuinely push out the love and care for someone, that it equally comes back to you and it's right there. And that's what I was getting so excited is, let me, I think I'll show you.
Before you continue, I want to say, hey guys, hey Kim, thanks for joining. Hey Jodine, Dennis says you are the best guest I have so far. Oh, okay, Dennis, that's really nice. Jodine says social platform be social. But as this group is about subscribers, scaling subscribers, Chrome extensions. And I brought Robert in because he's just a badass at engagement, figuring out how to get more subscribers. He's so good at it, him and his mom, that, we're like, well, in our world, if we're not running ads, what are we doing? What are we going to do? And the way that Robert explains it is a very warm, very nice way of connecting with people and also having viral posts without you spending 5 hours a day trying to figure this out. Right. He says 30 minutes a day, spend the time to go to your newsfeed, heart a lot of people, check to make sure you're connected with the people who know this process.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
And
that's a really good point you bring up, and I appreciate that. And it's like, here's the thing is, as you know, I was one of the top, uh, well, essentially, you already know, I'm not going to explain exactly to your viewers what, but I have, with this method, I actually have brought in 380 subscribers to a tool for Facebook, and it was zero customer acquisition costs at all. It was actually done only through organic. That's it. That is all I've done it. And I've made posts like this, right? That have gotten 280 loves on a tool post. So that's where I always recommend anyone that has extensions. You know, I think it's amazing the innovation nowadays. People are always thinking of new ideas, but they're like, wait a minute, but if I make a post on Facebook, my friends and family, no, you have to start networking with people, start tweaking the things to get you geared towards these kind of people in Facebook, right? And that's the thing is, like, that's how I found Kim. Like, I was able with the Facebook algorithms. I mean, it just aligns yourself really great. And that's the thing is, like, you have extensions and stuff like that, you know, and you have all these business ideas. But, you know, when you start using and applying the organic methods and really going through, going on pages like myself or other people that get a really good engagement, and you start networking, cross networking, I call it, not cross recruit, because, you know, we don't like that, but we're talking about really, you know, it's just start applying that kind of knowledge. You're able to really scale it organically. So that's like my favorite thing to do, is organic engagement, right? And actually turning it into true profit. And so that's and making jokes along the way, you know, like you always got to make jokes. You don't want your whole audience to always think your business, but it's it's been quite a journey, and it's been a lot of fun too, because I get to meet so many people and really keep going forward.
wow, like, I love it. I love to find out new perspectives to something that can be nasty, you know, like sales or like trying to get more customers and things like that. And here you are with this approach. Not only is it like tactically brilliant, but also has this warmth and heart to it. And I love that. It just makes me feel like, oh my God,
Yeah.
it's so awesome. And so you guys who are getting into something like Chrome extensions where you can deliver massive value in like a click, this
Hmm.
is such a great way for you to figure out how to get more subscribers, because you don't have to spend money on a bunch of ads that you don't
Right.
know, you know, will work or not.
Hmm.
You could form deeper connections with your community, with people who are like-minded. What you call networking doesn't have to be like nasty or networking, but it can be like swapping, you know,
Right.
swapping engagements, being able to find people who are like-minded to get you there, where a post could lead to thousands of dollars in income. You know, what kind of world are we living in? Come on, it's pretty cool where
There is
that is
more there.
possible.
I totally agree. There is more. We live in a very, I call it a very skeptical world, but we also are living in times where there's more millionaires that are being made every day. And you got to realize we live in some of the greatest times when you can take platforms like Instagram, which is another one that I like working on. I mean, it's funny, and all these other platforms like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all these platforms, and you're able to take these free platforms, it's literally a free account, and you might as well take your free account and grow it into, you know, learning these algorithms and how to, it's not necessarily hack the algorithm, it's how to connect. And if you're already good with connecting with people, and you can take that, you know, that love and that passion of your product. And that's another thing. A lot of people, they, you know, they'll add anyone and any who, And if you take the vetting process, like I was talking about, going into pages like Randy, you know, Christopher, Philip, all of those people, David, and you start vetting and you start finding, wait a minute, they have an intro. Okay. They clearly took time into their, you know, their page. And you can find, I mean, there's a lot of people that, you know, like for instance, Reg, a really good friend of mine, and I found him through my mom, actually. So it was just really cool to connect with all these people. But just a big tip I want to take away is when you add people, don't get frustrated they don't engage right away. Okay, it's a process. It is a process, but to really tap into that, the algorithm as far as getting your posts, your opportunity without actually you pushing and being pushy in the messenger. Here's a big tip. Okay, let's say you have a really incredible Chrome extension, right? You know, you're excited. Yeah, you told Kim about it, and Kim's, you know, excited. She's ready to launch it with you and everything. And then here's the extension, but you have it. It's a wonderful idea, but you don't know how to present it to your audience. That's one of the things. And so what you do is in that time before it comes to the big day, how about you start engaging with people? How about you actually start connecting with these right people and go into pages that have a ton of engagement and finding and vetting their profiles, doing some some legwork and actually, you know, homework and adding and connecting before you know it, when you do make a kind of a post that has to do with business and stuff like that, you will find people are more apt to, especially doing the method when you're in Messenger and you're loving 2 of their posts. That's really going to be huge. Like Kim's like, oh my gosh, every time I'm talking to you, you're loving 2 of my posts, and it's like, it's true. And so as you could tell, Kim engaged with my profile as well. So it's incredible because it builds it so well. It builds it so well, and then, you know, you not only become great friends, but a lifelong business, you know, relationship with a lot of these people that you network with.
Wow. We do have a question. Kim says, please share how exactly to tweak, maybe start with your personal profile. So what Robert shared with us earlier was you need to make sure that your intro has not only what you do, but also kind of like your lifestyle and other things as well, and have emojis within it.
Yes.
And then I know as a profile funnel, like I've heard about the profile funnel, you have to have a, it doesn't look like he has much of a profile funnel here, but other people that I've scrolled through, like this doesn't even look like it either, but this one does, this guy, David.
I personally, yeah, I personally trained him.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
awesome.
there's like, people know exactly who he is when they click on his profile, and also what type of, you know, not only like a business person, but also a husband, a father, and then a big picture that leads to his Facebook group. So it's called a profile funnel because it funnels the people into his Facebook group. And other than that, like what Robert just shared with us is that when we do launches and when we do things like that, what we can add on to become more viral and to touch more people and to show up on their newsfeed is spend that time liking and loving people's posts right before you're gonna go launch something, because then they'll see it in their feed, and not a lot of people do that, to be honest. They just like post something and hope that there's gonna be likes and loves.
So a lot of people think that the engagement that I get, the 300, the 400, the 200, is all being selfish. I just never ever give it. That is not true, farthest from the truth. I go on a basis. There's one day I counted, it was on my activity log, right? And I counted, I engaged with 575 people. Now you're thinking, wait a minute, that's crazy. You just told me I don't have to engage a lot. Well, that's when I was launching products, right? So I really engaged a lot, and it really helped a tremendous amount. profile pictures, you know, stuff like that. You know, 300 and I think 313, 14 on the profile picture. You know, stuff like that is really quite. It's also the type of picture. You know, it's like I'm actually up at the Grand Canyon there in Arizona. That's a horseshoe bend is what it's called. It's absolutely phenomenal, beyond beautiful. I'm big into nature, and it's just like a passion of mine. And so Facebook picks that up and goes, wait a minute, other people, you know, are you know, into that. And so it starts pushing it. You wouldn't believe the people that never even have engaged in a long time. They actually engaged on that post because of the type of post. So it's always trying to go against that algorithm. You know, it's quite kind of crazy, but just because, you know, you just had your wedding on Saturday does not mean you're going to get 400 loves. It's because who are you connecting with? Who are you vibing with? And it's funny because I had a cousin that she made a wonderful post. I saw it just because I was actually going to her page to message her, but she had a wonderful post. Is like, oh, I got this news job or whatever, and it was a really good job, and she got what it was like 50 loves is all. And mind you, she's like, I'm the popular girl. You know, those, you know, people are like, oh, they just think they're going to get the loves and likes. But she never gave it out. So she never got the love. And it's not like Instagram where it's just like, and Instagram is based on similar type, but it's like, it's not like it's just going to appear, you know, in people's face. You really have to work it. And then, like I was telling you guys earlier, is before you know it, it's just going to be a breeze. Like my news feed is so easy to me. The people that actually engage with me, boom, it's right in my feed. I don't have to do a thing. It's just right there. And for instance, because I replied to a comment, I'm going to give you guys an example. A brand new friend of mine, I just became friends with her last night. And I'll show you at the top right here. She actually engaged on that. So that's proof that an old post.
Palmer?
Yep. That an old post can be always, you know, taken from the bottom to the top, essentially. So that's what I was able to do with that post because I replied to a comment and I put a comment on my own post. So I put a fire emoji and then I replied to a comment.
Oh, so you replied to your comment and then you comment on your own post too.
Yeah, so I put a little fire emoji to so I replied to a person's comment and then I put a comment on my own post. And here's the funny part. So Kim, this is pretty cool, but if you were to comment on that post right there, just go, you could put awesome or something, or an emoji, 100% emoji or something like that. And then what I'll do is cool beans. Okay, so I got that. And what I'll do is I'll put some fire emojis. And now you can check your actual notifications. Look at that. I also commented on my own post. And so anyone that has commented on that post, you can not only boost your own post by commenting on it, but everyone that has all those 200 comments in there just got my notification that I just commented on my own post.
Everyone who commented, 193 comments.
Yes, everyone. All 193 of them just got that notification. So there's really amazing ways that you could be like, all right, it's launching tomorrow, or oh, all right, you know, thanks for all the love and that kind of thing. And it's pretty awesome once you apply it.
Wow, I am so blown away by this. I'm gonna be one of those people who will like apply this and see if it reaches because I like, for me, I don't apply that. I do scroll and I like and I love people's stuff, but I'm not really strategic about that. And I have like, okay, I have an intro there. I have an event, a live event that's happening at the end of this month. But you know, my posts, like, okay, a few people like it, one comment, and that's my own. Here, 14 people, 18. I do get a bunch of views, so that's really cool. But it's nowhere near hundreds and hundreds, you know. This is a meme, so people relate to memes.
That was pretty awesome there. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that.
You I noticed you don't use memes too, but like memes work pretty well. And then
They do.
this one is just a personal picture, and you know, but still it's not it's not like
And it's good. And
hundreds.
honestly, it is good. It's good. It's overall, you're in the top percentage because there's a lot of people that, I mean, that really I consider really good engagement is obviously the 70 to 100 plus. Okay. When you get excellent engagement, you start really getting up there, really touching lives. You're going to get in the 150 to the 300 mark. But even the 50, even right there in a cover photo, still that's better than 2 likes, right? And that's really great. I mean, there's a lot of people work. We all work on different levels, but it's really great when you're able to use an algorithm that's free. That's the thing. A lot of people are like, man, I have to pay for solo ads or traffic or email campaigns and all this, but you're able to really take that and make this whole entire website to your advantage all the time, just by using these methods. And the thing is you have to network. You can know all this about the engagement, but if you are not networking with people, then you were already amazed. You're like, wait a minute, I right click on their profile, they're just like him. That's amazing. Yes, it's because you just over time the algorithm starts really matching friends up a lot, and plus the people you add. So just really vet the profiles, guys. When you do
Yeah.
add people, you have to vet their profile. Do not
Oh
just
my
add
God.
anyone. Do not just add anyone. You know,
Yeah. Oh, I have a question that a lot of people will ask, like
mhm.
newer people. They will say, oh, my friends list is, you know, all the friends that I know. I'm afraid that if I start doing this stuff to my profile, that I'm going to look like I'm just like this robot, or I'm not close to my friends anymore, or like there's that fear that if they engage
Yeah.
in this kind of behavior, that they might be, you know, looked at as like less than, you know, like, oh, she's all about business, or you know, stuff like that. So what do you say to those people that have those fears holding them back from taking advantage of you know, cracking the algorithm?
Yeah, it's actually been a personal experience of mine, so I'll be able to answer it right from the heart on this one. And it's because when I really began this whole breaking free, a call from the 9 to 5 job and all that. In the beginning, I had a lot of friends and family. They're like, Rob, I'm just really jelly right now. I'm like, what do you mean? You're really jealous? And they're like, yes, because you're getting 70 loves or you're getting 50 loves on a post, and here I make a meme about, this is way back, but here I make a post and I'm getting 5 loves. I tell, rise above the ashes always. If it's truly your passion and you know you can make that potential and money online, which everyone has that potential, it's just obviously what the work you're going to be putting into. um, the main thing is when you start networking with the right people, those people, the naysayers, the people that are silent haters, the people that don't really actually have the best intentions or thoughts your direction, you start networking with the right people. Like, you were right clicking on all these profiles and adding them, and when you start to get chance, like even talk, you could tonight even message David Dopkins, go, hey, I'm a friend of Rob's, blah blah. They'll go, oh, that's fantastic, blah blah blah. And then, like, you'll start picking up that, before you know it, that engagement, that excitement, and that all that love, and then the love back you're giving starts to fade away those people and starts to kind of push them away. But never fret or never worry that because you're getting all this engagement, there is steps to it. There's people that just go, you know what, he has 300 loves, why would I ever give him love? Like, he has too much. And it's like, really automatically having that thought towards your friend, there's no need for it, because if you know that if you're giving Like Kim, she has not even a thought like that. She's like, well, I know because if I love his post, my post is right in his feed. And the moment that happens, you're like, wait a minute, now it's equal ground. It don't matter the likes and loves as far as the number count. It's knowing that, okay, you can really, really create some incredible results by using that method, by using that, you know, the tag method I call it, you know, like engaging with each other. So that's the way I look at it. I will love no matter who is in my news feed. Obviously, there's posts that are like, I've already loved your post. You made another post like 5 minutes. Like here you made a post, then you made another one. That's kind of crazy. But like no matter who's in my news feed, I always am in that habit. Let's give some love today. Let's give some likes and really throw it out there. And before you know it, you're gonna have people that really are interested in your product. And obviously that's what's happened here. And but that's an organic method, right? That's an organic method how to build it. But
I love
yeah,
these.
it's
I love this. Thank you so much for sharing. Ruben just went in. Ruben Santiago, he's a good internet friend. Ruben, so today we're going live with Robert Montgomery, and he's showing us how this happens in an organic way that doesn't have you be salesy, that one post could lead to, you know, a lot of new business, thousands of dollars just from one post. And that it's not something that, you know, it's not something that's after the fact, that you don't post and then you're telling people, hey, come and love my post, please. It's like this very organic buildup to having an audience that consistently cares for you back. And consistently, every single time you do a post, it's almost every single post. To me, it is every single post that you have hundreds of engagement, every single post. Now, do you, if you make a post that fails, do you hide it from your timeline? Is that something that is also we should think about?
Yes, that's a really good consideration, because it's not necessarily being like you're too selfish or you just didn't get enough love. It's the fact that you're not the work you put into the algorithm and all of that, the messaging people and reaching out to them. Really what happens is Facebook is kind of like a muscle, but easily can go back, okay? And so I found people that used to just get hundreds and hundreds of likes and comments and loves, and then they would just go on for the longest break on social media, and then all of a sudden they're like, I'm back, and then they get like, I'm sure you've seen those posts, and then they get like 20, 30 likes. Now, if you want to scroll a little bit, we'll give an example on what I did. I maintained the algorithm when I was off. So I didn't post, but I maintained it. So you can, eventually it's a little bit back. I think, I'm trying to find, yeah, eventually it'll be there. Yeah, just keep going. And there's, right there. Okay. So that's a post I got 365 loves on. When you take a week off social media, you reflect on, you know, what's life around you, blessings, all that great, right? So I was up at Sedona, Arizona, and I had a really nice trip. But the thing is when I was up there, I took a break as far as, you know, making posts and stuff like that and lives, and like groups and helping my mom and everyone else with my team. But what I didn't do is when I actually was in the news feed, I didn't skip past that one specific person. Now I may have skipped past a couple other friends, but at least I maintained the love button in the news feed. Now that doesn't mean that, okay, something happens, you just won, you know, $1 million, now you want to live in Fiji. Well, okay, and if you really win a lot of money, I don't think you really want to be on Facebook to begin with. But my point is if you really want to be always in the news feed, you just got to realize that just take your time, a couple posts here and there, throw some love and comment as well if you can think of a comment, but always know the love button is always important. But yeah, doing that, you know, you'll notice that engagement's still there. So they're like, oh, so awesome, that's incredible. And that's really what I find amazing is like, okay, yes, I took a break, but look how many people were like, I'm really happy to have you back, or awesome, or that's my favorite or amazing. And it's like you always have the audience as a resume, like they're always going to be there for you. When they know absolutely that Kim is going to be on their post, the next post they make, your news feed starts clearing up. You start getting more quality content because they start loving your stuff and you start loving theirs. And it's pretty awesome. It starts creating that back and forth, you know,
Yeah, it's kind of
now,
like,
stuff.
to me, I see it as, you know, how this is on another level, but you know, you are the net worth and the network of the people that you're around, like the 5 people that you're with. I feel like what you're teaching us today is that like Facebook doesn't have to be a smorgasbord of like whatever the heck, you know, newsfeed. It doesn't have to be a place where you post something and you just feel so alone because no one loves and likes your stuff. It can be a place where you can get consistent support because you give consistent support to people who pay attention and care about the people they're connected with. So over time, you start getting more and higher quality types of connections and higher quality friendships on Facebook. So if you have a business, it's not about, hey guys, buy my thing. It's more like, hey, you know, we've been supporting each other all this time. It's just a natural next step that they support you back. And whether it's money or it's support for your time off, which is very mentally healthy, and or just like support for the words that you say. Like, so every time you're on Facebook and you have like a thought or something important, it's not going to be there's no like a lot of stigma about, oh man, who wants to hear from me, you know, like
I love the way you word things and look at them. It's exactly true. It starts to become where I don't care if Robert gets 300 loves. I just want to be there because I know that he's going to be eventually back on mine, or we're going to connect in a messenger or chit chat. And that's where it just becomes where it's not about how many likes or loves and it looks like a celebrity out there that a person gets, or you start becoming that high amount of engagement. It's where they're like, I know that Kim's humble and real and honest and caring. I don't care. I just want to know what's her new product. I want to get into this because I just know the way she treats me, not only in Messenger, but the overall, everyone in her entire audience. She's always there replying to comments, coming back, you know, giving it out on this platform. And before you know it, you just have like all these people. Like I get inboxes all the time. They're like, hey, you know, Rob, thanks for that engagement. But what are you up to? And they don't pitch me necessarily. They're like, what are you up to? And I'm like, well, right now I'm working on this and this and that. And that's what's really cool is they're, you know, they're able to come back to your neck of the woods, and they're able to be like, oh wow, what's Kim up to? And that's really what I love doing, is teaching that psychological engagement, because a lot of people teach engagement. They teach that you got to give the love and likes and all that, but they're not teaching the psychological part of things. And really Facebook, not only in the robotic algorithm is that, but if you start learning the you know, there's basic needs humans want, and there's a lot of connections, there's a lot of feelings, and I don't care what anyone tells you, but you can really tell how a lot of people are over video chat, or like I can already tell, you know, Kim really has this passion and love and care, and it's just like, that's the beauty about this platform, is it is a lot better than you look at Instagram. I mean, you can make a photo, that's cool and all, but can you really interact the way the transparency of Facebook it can be? And it's just, that's what I love about this platform, you know, and hopefully you guys learned, you know, a lot of things and how you can take, you know, your organic business to the next, next level. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we've covered A lot. And I usually go for 1 hour, and this is like this is like over, can we over deliver kind of thing. But it's like a lot of people are asking me, hey, do you have a course? Are you gonna sell us something right now? And honestly, I've been gone for a month, but this group, I care about you guys. I want to nurture this group and make sure that it's not all pitch. It's like value. So that's why I brought Robert on to come in and show you what he's working on, what's going on in his neck of the woods. He does have launches coming up, but I just want you guys to know that like this is about value. However, I'm gonna ask Robert like what are his plans for the future. And you guys, if you aren't following Robert, if you are trying to even make income on Facebook or having friends or doing any kind of connection, definitely go and follow him. Definitely go and you know, be one of his friends and see what he's up to. But also I want to ask Robert, like, what are your plans for the next few months or year?
That's a great question. Yeah, I mean, for me, I really want to take whether it be an extension with Chrome and stuff with yourself, and but I really want to take I call it, because a lot of people, like, it's always been when I analyze, I analyze a lot of people online, how are they presenting themselves, and we all know it's like you're almost afraid to make a business post. You're almost afraid to start into this, like, editing your profile and making it like and really what you have, where my goal is to teach people. I like one-on-one training or Zoom training and stuff like that, but my newest you know, newest endeavors with Facebook is how can I create, and this is where I'm going into, is I want to create this like type of tool, right, that humanistically helps you throughout the entire life of Facebook. So I'm talking a year from now, a couple months from now, it just organically builds within your profile. And so that's actually something that I'm working on right now, that is going to be really hot. It's going to be really amazing how this tool can integrate with what I was teaching and all this stuff, and do it on almost an automation, but you still being the pilot. You know what I mean? You still having control of the entire thing. And so that's what I want to do. And that's like my future, and been working like like all constant day in, day out of these implementations and of how I can build this new tool. But yeah, I mean, Kim, I think that it would be great, because I mean, I'll be able to teach everyone of your team, right? Even more in-depth knowledge and stuff like this that
Oh yeah.
is able to, you know, apply to your profile. Because this is, like I was saying, it's just a tip of the iceberg. Is really
What you're doing applies to helping my audience like almost exactly, because I'm helping them have their own Chrome extension businesses. And you are like a master at getting subscribers in an organic way. And it's like, oh my gosh, that is awesome. You could totally, if you launch your tool or you have a course or anything like that, it would totally help them, because that is, you know, after you have your Chrome extension, that is the #1 pain point. Like, how do I get subscribers? And a lot of them are afraid of running ads and, you know, like doing these things. And I feel like your way is such a great way. They should learn this way as part of their, you know, their toolbox to get subscribers. So with that said, awesome, Robert. I can't wait to see what all your hard work is leading up to, your tool launching. And you guys, thanks so much for joining us today. Before I go,
thank you very much.
Before we go, I want to go ahead and tell you about like, if you guys are getting value from this and you've never heard of one of my tools, GroupConvert, before, where it lets you take the emails from your Facebook group when members enter. It'll take that email and send it to a Google Sheet. If you like what I bring in and you want to support me, GroupConvert, signing up for GroupConvert and giving it a try is one of the ways to go. I also want to meet you guys face to face. So I'm doing more of these live events and live meetups. The next one we have is on February 27th to 28th, which is a Thursday and Friday. I would love to meet you guys. We have a bunch of Chrome bosses coming. Rachel Esley is coming. She's like a badass affiliate marketer. She's so great. And then Doug Botten is also coming to go and teach. And they will teach about getting more subscribers for your simple software business. Today, I mean, if Robert could come, I mean, this is such an awesome kind of example of, hey, this is what you can do. Once you have the tool, this is what you can do. And so I would love to meet you guys in San Diego. It's in San Diego, and it's February 27th and 28th. PM me for more information. But other than that, go ahead and follow Robert, go and learn from him, find out what he's gonna launch, the things that he's told you, the lessons that we've been listening to for the past hour and a half has been completely mind-blowing to me. And like he said, that's just the tip of the iceberg. So you really want to know what's like everything else that's underneath. And it sounds like you also provide coaching, Robert. I don't know.
I do.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah, I do. I do one-on-one coaching, in niche market, like any niche, like and essentially, I like show people how to tackle exactly, like, for instance, like there was a group last night I was talking to, and they're all into health and beauty, right? And I'm like, well, this is exactly how you have to target these type of people. How can you get in their mind, you know, because clearly commercials are doing it good. You want to go buy the newest iPhone, you know, I mean, you at least have that little bit of an urge, or newest Samsung phone. So how can we get in an organic, how can we organically get and build into that audience? And that's exactly what I love doing, is teaching that niche, you know, whether it comes like, just like now with Chrome, I call myself like chameleon. So like you tell me, hey, well, I'm really into this. Well, okay, let me switch and figure out, you know, and tweak how we can take this approach. And like tonight, this is like a big passion, as Chrome extensions are already huge passion, as you know, for myself as well. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, you know. And I look forward to working with you, like in the future, all the, you know, projects we can come up with. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, love it. I love it. So happy that you joined me tonight.
I am. I'm very thankful for all you guys hopping on.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Kim Lian Huang. She said, thank you very much. Again, Kim and Robert. Dennis says, Kim, bring him back and talk about Instagram. Maybe, if he wants to.
Yeah.
And hey, Gerald. Hey, guys. And Zeki says, thanks so much for organizing this, Kim. And he wants to bring you into his group of like 3,000 affiliate marketers. So there you go. I mean, more people awesome for you to get in front of. Not that you have any trouble with that. It seems like, you know, that's not a problem for you. But but thanks, everyone. Thank you so much, Robert. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click stop share and end the live, and then I'll just say quickly goodbye to you. What is it? How do I end the live? Actually, stop the live stream. Okay. So the live stream ended, and actually, I'm gonna remove everyone. Okay, guys, I'm removing all of you guys because you joined, but I just want to say bye to Robert as well. All right. One last person. Bye, Patrick.
One by one, right? That's funny. That
Oh
was a great
man, that
meeting,
was
though.
awesome.
I really appreciate that. That was like I was excited. I mean, I loved talking to obviously yourself and like everyone. I was like, man, this is up my alley. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I love your energy too. Like you just are just this like outgoing and positive, and it's really awesome. But yeah, I think so I mean, I'm in Phoenix, right? So I'm in Phoenix area, and I don't know. I'd have to like get basically a rental car, and everything. But I'm trying to think. I might. It just depends on everything, and it's kind of quick notice. But that'd be freaking cool if we could ever meet up one of these days. Could like, cause where are you like from? Are you like from California, right?
Yeah, I'm from Moreno Valley. Actually, there's Nick, who's one of my Chrome Boss coaches. He lives in Arizona. I don't know exactly
Wow.
where, maybe close to, I don't know where, but he is also like, he's gonna try to make it to this event. And he's gonna just drive his car over.
Hmm.
But yeah, like, I mean, it would be cool to meet up because we're not too far away. We're just
Yeah.
right next to each other.
I've been to Cali many times. I've been over there. I took a class trip to Catalina Island. I don't know if you
Oh
know
yeah.
that. It's right off of LA.
Yeah.
And so I've been there, been to LA many times, and like I think it's pretty cool. Like, I mean, California's California, right? I mean, it's just like its own world over there. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Like maybe eventually we could meet up. I've met a lot of people. Like I love it how you can go like off or online to offline kind of transition. A lot of.
I do meet people that I met online at like conferences.
Hmm.
This is my first time having my own live event, but otherwise I'm going to be speaking in Texas, actually, in Fort Worth, Texas in March
Right
at
on.
this
Wow.
mastermind where there's like all these people there that have made over $1 million from one funnel and things like that. And I'm going to be teaching about Chrome extensions on stage. So
That's awesome.
really cool.
That's Yeah, Chrome, like all these like my newest app and everything, it's not like you were thinking like is it going to be like a spin-off to the old? Not really. It's actually going to be like a whole new UI and everything. It's going to be a whole new interface, way more tweaked, like big time tweaked. And just overall just how can I put it, more like I was telling everyone on the the team there and all your friends and everyone. I was like, this is going to be more of exactly what I teach. Like I was like that. I made that business post, right, about, people love no matter how much love and support you give someone, they're not giving it back. And so this is why this tool, this new one, is actually going to be really deeply integrated to the way how you run Facebook, right? So it's going to be actually tweakable. It's really crazy. But it's going to actually be able to, let's go, you have this the news feed or whatever. It's going to go through there and engage, so it's going to give a love out, but it's going to know how to do it. So it's I'm just giving you like little bits on exactly how it works, but and it's going to be great because I'm all in control of it. um but yeah, it's been quite an interesting ride because of what's happened. So I just been trying to figure out, my own path, you
I
know,
feel like
in
it's
things.
so, if you know how to sell online and you know how to do all this stuff, it's just a matter of having your product and that's it. Then
Right,
you're off to the races. And
right.
uh, it's a positive, very positive road ahead. And so, yeah, I mean, if you can make it to February 27th, 28th, that's really short notice, but if you can come,
Right.
it would be really fun. There's going to be Rachel. There's going to be J.R. McKee, who is, he makes, last month he made $1,500 with his Chrome extension, and he got into the program because,
Awesome.
and then he now he has income from that. And Doug Botten will be there, and a lot of marketers who have, who can invest in a ticket, hotel, plane,
Right.
be at that level versus, and I'm keeping it actually small. It's not like hundreds of people. I've only started talking about it last month, actually, when I was in Thailand.
Yeah.
And then now we have about 15 people who are going to be in the room, and it's 2 days.
Oh.
And also I'm comping dinner. Don't tell anyone that though, but I want it to kind of be like a surprise.
A surprise.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, we're gonna hang out, learn a lot from each other, and meet each other, and have that connection where you won't get if you're meeting up at like a conference with 200 people or something like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh yeah, I've been like, literally as a little kid, my parents would take me to real estate events, like seminars and real estate events. I've actually seen Dr. Phil before, Pitbull, the singer, Pitbull, all these other people, like Sylvester Stallone, even him, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I've actually been in the that close to him. It's crazy, but yeah, I know what you mean. Like if you have a tinier group, my mom actually hosted one 3 years ago, had about 20 people roughly, and it was for her own little niche marketing and stuff, and it was awesome. They were able to attend, and I was there, and my dad, my sister, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, but the whole the online to the offline is really interesting. It really is, because it's everyone's like, oh, all jovial in that with online, but then you meet in person, you get to know their body language. How are they positioned? Are they, you know what I mean? It's pretty interesting. That's what I have noticed. I've met, I don't know if you know him, Steve Niken. I don't think, maybe you don't know him, but he's a pretty awesome guy. He's a marketer as well. But I got to meet him in person, and he's exactly what he's like online. Absolutely, he's just a wonderful friend. But yeah, I know it's a little short notice, but I think in the future, even if I'm in California, I could just go, hey Kim, wanna go to whatever, and
yeah, I have a house here in Moreno Valley, and yeah, we're next to a lake and pool, and yeah, if you're in California, definitely hit me up.
I will. Yeah, it's just like in Arizona. I mean, if you're ever in this area, just hit me up. I'm in the the Scottsdale area. That's technically where I'm at. Scottsdale. Yeah, it's a nice area, but
wow. I didn't know that your mom teaches high ticket sales. That I thought she was I thought that she had a following. That's all I know really from what you told me, that she has a following herself. But she does live events and all this stuff. Your mom is like a rock star. What the heck?
you should, yeah, if you add her, I'll tell her that we were on this call together and everything. But yeah, she does that, the high ticket. And she's been in the industry for 12 years now. 12 years. Yeah. So
she's like a master at this point.
It's pretty cool. A lot of things she teaches, and then for me, I told you, I've been 3 years off, but actually literally 12 years of watching her, right? In the background, and then being able to implement these ideas and stuff like that.
Do you know how to run live events too? Or you've seen her?
Yeah, well, I've done it with my mom. Yeah. The biggest thing is you want to, it's like you get that hype. You're like, oh gosh, okay, now we have an event. How many people will really actually attend? And the people that do attend, excuse me, my voice, it's like, gosh, my voice. But you really build this, you're like, wow, okay, you traveled all this way, or you traveled 40 minutes, or you traveled whatever, you're like, not only are they there for you, which you kind of feel a little special, but you also are like, wait a minute, all this like ability, gosh, my voice, it's like I'm trying to clear it. But this ability to really connect with them, and those people are almost like your roots going forward, because that's actually what happened with our meetup. Is we have friends now for the longest of time. We're talking like, because we met up with them in person, they're now, because we know that how we were in person, it created like a root, and then it branched out with other friends of theirs, bringing essentially more people to connect with. So it's really incredible experience. You'll know what I'm talking about. It's like you meet this one guy or this lady, and you're like, okay, you have a really great time, and you hit off, a really good friendship, even more than you were online. Before you know it, you're like, wait a minute, oh, I didn't know you know this person. Oh, and let's connect. And before you know it, people are going to know you as this this Chrome queen, pretty much, but it's pretty cool.
Well, no one's competing for my position. I know that. Like, it's
Right.
so specific.
Right.
I made a post where I'm like, yeah, well, my friends went off to become doctor, dentist, and pharmacist. I'm over here teaching about Chrome extensions. It's like the bizarre shit.
Right. I know. I mean, it's funny because like all of my friends are like, oh, I can't believe, you develop all this stuff, and you think, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's honestly fun to me, like, I mean, it's not like Facebook is not the only extension I'm coming up and thinking up and building the blueprints, of. It's actually other things like YouTube is kind of one that I'm trying to figure out the approach to it, because you already know YouTube removed the ability to inbox people. They removed that ability. And they actually just made it now more kid friendly, which it's like, they're really restricting YouTube tighter and tighter. I don't know if you've noticed that. It's like, wow.
I've noticed, yeah.
It's actually like, wow.
Kid friendly or not on your videos. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're almost creating YouTube like it's actually TV in a way where you can't get to the provider, which is the content creator. You can only interact with them in ratings and in comments. And it used to be where YouTube was very wholesome, and it was like you could really talk and like hit up Shane Dawson or someone, one of the content creators out there. And now it's like he has to reach out to you on Facebook or TikTok or all these other platforms, Instagram, and and no one's kind of looked at that approach. And I'm thinking, there's got to be something. There's got to be some sort of way of doing that, but I don't know. That's just a thought. That's just a thought.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I really like how you think. You're very strategic, and I mean, the things that you think about, they like, from what I've heard, only like they work out. So it's really good. That it's kind of refreshing, because everyone's telling me like, just do it, and then you're like, well, you got to think about these things.
Yeah, you gotta really think like I joke around, but I'm like, I try to analytically look at it, but in a positive way. I'm not trying to like, you have to kind of look at it like, people always are quick. They're quick to like instantly want something. It's a FedEx society. They're like, I want it instant, tomorrow, Amazon, drones, flying. But then they're not thinking of all the implications. Like, okay, what about the route to it? Or is someone going to chuck a rock at the drone or something, Or is the battery going to like malfunction? So there's got to be implementations. That's why it's like when it came to extensions and stuff, and learning that, I'm like, you know what? There's got to be there's got to be more of a logical approach than the emotional approach, but still have emotion in there, because you guys got to have emotion to know where to go. But the logical approach is where you have to take it. And that's what I like about you, is like you have this positive emotions about, and that's what attracts people. They're like, oh man, I want to work with her. I want to have all these extensions and be able to launch it into action. That's the plus. That's a positive right there for you, because it's like people are like, oh man, I absolutely gotta work with her.
Yeah. And do you, I want to ask you if you have any plans for like coaching, like group coaching at all? The reason why I asked is I'm building out my coaching program, and I find people to help my community. And so I look for like guest coaches or people who can just come in, like put in their, go and coach the group of Chrome extension people for like, you know, an hour or 30 minutes or whatever amount of time you want to devote, like for, you know, that week or something. And it gives them so much value, and then they find out more about you. And, you know, it's like, the way that I've seen, the model that I've seen is that when you teach people, it becomes, and there's more of them, you can't do one-on-ones, you have to do group coaching. But then even then you can't show up by yourself all the time for group coaching. It would have to be, you know, you have to have other people help coach too. I wonder if you like, because you say you do one-on-one. So I'm thinking, do you have plans for, or are you open to like guest coaching or contributing in any way? I don't know what your schedule is like, but it's just a seed I'm gonna get into your head.
Right. I mean, I appreciate it. I mean, I'm open to a lot of ideas, you know. I'm not like, I'm busy, like there, for instance, like my messenger hasn't been this quiet in a while. I'm like, oh gosh, this is pretty cool. I'm glad, because if I had a screen share it would boop, boop, boop like that. And it's like, but right now it's quiet only because it's not that I have an active, you know, a way of, like, I don't have a tool. I don't have a tool right now. Like I'm doing other things, but I don't have. But when I had that, everyone came to me because they knew it was like I was the face of it. You know, I'm not trying to be like that, but that was like I was out there and everything, and that's really what kind of got me to. Remember, I was telling you about the time where I had to take away from social media and all that, and that was a post as an example. But recently, I mean, I've been really trying to pull back a lot because, like, I teach these methods, but I'm really trying to refocus on things because, you know, having someone like a partner like that, what happened to me, I mean, and I don't get it, I'm not going to get into this, but really what happened was extremely not right, what happened. So I'm just going to leave it at that. So I had to really reevaluate myself and look at, like, how can I approach, because everyone likes to, you know, partner, or they want to, you know, nowadays or do, but for me, oh yes, I think that'd be great. Like a group training and stuff like that, new fresh faces to train and teach and help, and yeah, that'd be great, you know. But yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun, you know. We'd be able to, obviously I'd have a better background than this. This is not
people don't care about your background. I mean, a lot of people showed up and they really enjoyed what you said, you know, and you're just like with your laptop going, hey, this is how I think it is. And everyone's like, oh my God, this is awesome. So
it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I'm trying to get in. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like, what was it? I'm trying to think. I just think it's like, to me, it's like a lot of fueling passion. Cause like when I hear a little compliment or someone likes it, I'm like, man, you know, I really want to even go further and help more people, with their, cause like, I feel bad. Cause, you know, like, I'm like, okay, you have this business, you have this extension or whatever. And I'm like, man, you're not getting that attention that you really deserve. Cause we're like billions of people, but our brains are always filtering things through. And so that's why I was like, this approach, what I can help with your group and everything, is how can we grab the attention of the subconscious and conscious mind of people on Facebook? How can we grab their attention? And then those methods, like, you know, you loving people's posts, going into their news feed, going in and like that really taps into the market of the mind, and it actually is not manipulative, but it creates a positive environment. And that's what I love, is I'm like, oh man, that's cool. Now we can go to Facebook and you know, and really start interacting with them. And it's like, it kind of seems a little petty at first, like kind of a little silly. Like, wait, you're trying to tell me that if I start engaging, I'm going to start getting more of a positive feedback? I'm like, yes, guys. I know it's kind of crazy thinking that, wow, we're actually on a platform, unlike, you know, TikTok. I'm sure you know what TikTok is,
Yeah.
where you have to almost grind your little butt off. You know, you have to keep grinding and like making content that's like crazy good just to get the likes. Versus, I mean, can you imagine if we had an algorithm on TikTok where we just loved a person's video and ours would go in theirs? there's no algorithm like that.
Yeah.
And that's I kind of think of it like that. Like, can you imagine YouTube? You going on Shane Dawson's YouTube, I give him an example because I like the guy. And so you go, I'm pretty sure you know who he is too. He lives in Cali. But there's some others out there, FaZe Rug in San Diego. I follow a few people. But the point is, can you imagine liking, you know, Tony Robbins' YouTube video and then he finding your YouTube video? No. You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine having that algorithm? There's no platform like it. And I wish I would have put that in the live, but really there's no platform like it. It's kind of true. It's like, there's really, I mean, to think of that, if you do that. So that's why it's funny and it was pretty cool, because when we started engaging, I was like, I saw on your on my notifications, guess whose post, which I'll give you more love to when I get off this, but you want to know what's funny is that I saw your post in my newsfeed because you engaged. It's pretty freaking awesome. So it was pretty. I just thought it was pretty cool that it right what I was talking about, but you know, it worked out. So, but it's pretty crazy. But
Yeah. Well, all right. I know it's late. It's 7:58
yeah.
p.m. I might do another live event in May, the end of May in San Francisco, because I started emailing out people to see if they want to do a live thing, and they're like, oh, this is so late notice, so you know, a certain amount of people can go, but then there's a lot of people are like, no, but we would love to have something elsewhere.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, where? And I'm like, what about San Francisco, where there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of things to do there, but also it's like a hub for like technology and things.
Tacky. Oh, it's huge. Yeah.
So
that's why I love the West Coast. We're both West Coast folks, you know. Like, I moved, I think you did remember, I was living in New York, and that was like, oh no. But living out here, out west in Nevada, Utah, all these, like, you know, Idaho and Oregon and Washington and California, all of those places we're wired different. Like, people are wired different, and they're just more open to newer things. It's like, I think it's awesome. Like, I'll look in LA and like, you guys have this newest vegan restaurant, or you have this type of restaurant, or this type of club, and it's like, and that's the way the West is. It's just really open. And then you look at it, the business part of things, and it's like, wow, it's pretty awesome. So it's cool. Like, I agree that up in the Bay Area, that'd be a lot of fun, you know.
yeah,
It'd be really great.
And you know how to like do events, that would be cool. So I'm planting it in there. I know you have like, what is it? I know you have PTSD from like partnerships and stuff. So I understand that part of your feeling. But but hey, I am gonna continue doing what I'm doing, and I'm saying what you teach is really aligned with what I'm doing. So you know, and also it would be cool to meet you as well live.
Yeah, it would be cool. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, for me, I follow by the method is always get back on the horse, right? Like my grandpa used to tell me, always get back up on the horse, always go for it again in life. And it's like, whether friendships or business partnerships, I'm not ever burnt. Okay. It's just that you just you want to be like, you feel like, kind of feel like, wait a minute, you know, but a new person, that doesn't mean just because like something happened in the past doesn't mean that something, no. And that's what always the approach I take, fresh beginnings, always, you know. And it's like, yeah, that'd be cool because you're big into Chrome extensions. I'm big into this like organic based, you know, and there's actually, and it's not all my knowledge, you know, like this is just like tiny bits that I was able to acquire. But so that's what I do train like people, like when I was talking about one-on-one and all that. But there's this one method, there's this one hack, okay, that is absolutely freaking nuts. And it's kind of like, that's like really paid knowledge. I'm not trying to be like, but that's like some crazy stuff I
Tell me
found
about
out.
your one-on-one package. Like, what is that?
I mean, there is this one that, like, basically what I do is I do like Zooms like this, kind of, I can. But what I get into is like controlling and screen sharing where I'm like, look, this is how we can tweak the entire profile of a person. And I'm not just like that little tiny hack, right? The little, I call it the tiny algorithm hack, right? But ultimately what it is it's like I do flexible stuff. Like I'm like, if you tell me, wait a minute, you know, there's this problem when I don't get this. And I'm like, okay, well, how can we do that? And so that's what I do, really like in-depth one-on-one. And there's this one friend of mine, her name is Jazzy, and she's just a really good friend of mine. We actually met in person, and her hubby and everything. It was really cool. And they're just really good people. But and that was like one-on-one training. But yeah, that's what I like. I like really like kind of like and we can even do it a barter kind of thing where it's like, you know, you have this knowledge and I have this knowledge, and it's not really like this. It's not like cost, but it's more of like, well, okay, knowing that with this knowledge of Facebook and all this other stuff, how can you know, we help each other, and like how can I get your extensions out there for this, right? And how can I launch my even extension and stuff like that? You know, so there could be a balance of that. We could work on something like that. But yeah, I'm just right now I'm just trying to think of all the cool things, because like you're talking about, you know, like, hey, we could do this and this and that, you know, it's pretty cool.
Well, I try, because what I'm teaching is so freaking niche. It's so niche that there's very
Yeah,
little people I can say this to, you know?
right.
Really, there is very little. So I'm like, oh wow, it's very rare, you know, that this is your passion, you know, you're into teaching
Yeah,
it. That's even more rare.
yeah,
There's some people who just do and they don't like to teach, but it's
right.
so when I see that, I'm like, okay, I need to talk to you about planting a seed in your mind about this, because I
Hmm.
feel what we are teaching is, I think, very different, but also it makes earning income a way that's possible online for a lot of people who
Right.
tried and failed FBA, tried and failed
Oh
Shopify,
God,
you know,
right.
tried to fail all these other things, and they just, and like you said, if there's a way to have attention on Facebook, the way that you can garner it
Right.
organically, and all you need is a freaking, you know, product, you marry that together and
Right.
you kind of are unstoppable. And it's not like, oh, you got to buy like $5,000 worth of inventory and then you got to like list it a certain way,
Right.
you know.
Oh my gosh.
It feels
Right.
so much better to teach people that this is something that actually works. And by the way, there is no shortage of customers for you online. There's
Yep.
no shortage. There's millions, billions of Facebook users. Even if you have your tool, there's no shortage, you know,
No, there's
of
billions of
customers.
people. Yeah, and that's a good point, is like I was talking about zero customer acquisition costs and all the low, like there was I never actually paid for traffic, legitimate. Like, and that's, I think you were asking me in the beginning, we were like chatting back and forth. And I was like, no, I actually didn't, because I kept organically using my methods, the vetting process. Like I had to tell your team that, because I think a lot of people go, wait a minute, now I can just blow up everyone's feed with love and I'm just going to miraculously have, no, no, no. it's the vetting process is really the biggest thing. It's that going through profiles, like you were like, wait a minute, I can't believe David Dopkins, or I can't believe all these people. It's that vetting process is where it begins, and then you start going, are they replying to comments? Do they get overall good engagement? Are they not too pitchy with their business? You know, because you know that they have a nice little family photo, and then business, 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 business. And it's like, I have this perfect post that I might be making for Facebook. I think it's going to be a funny joke. But it's like, basically Facebook has kind of turned into TV with only commercials. You know, it's kind of like, it's kind of true. You know, you look at people's posts and it's like nothing but business, business. And I go, guys, take a little eraser, erase that on the chalkboard and take a new approach. Take the emotional and psychological engagement. And that's what I was talking about, because everyone's talking about engagement. You already know. People talk about it. Please like my post, or please do this and that. I'm like, no, guys. There's a way better way. And that's the thing. I'm not a part of juice chats. I don't believe in all that stuff where, hey, here's a link, go to Rob's page. No, it's all literally customers and people that have actually obviously not only bought from me, but actually are good friends, real life, online. And they just come there. And I loved your point you made. You're like, guys, you can just bring people, they're just coming to you. You know, it's not a matter of, oh, is it just like, you know, are you begging? They're coming right to you. That's what I love about it. And that's true, you know, they're just coming right to you, and they care a lot, you know, and that's what I love. But
yeah, it's so great. It's so great.
Mm-hmm.
I love meeting people who make me feel like the world is nice and things can work out okay, because
Right.
I've met some people who are like so mean and online, and it just
Right.
it feels really great to meet like people who make you feel good, you know.
Oh yeah. Right.
But
Yeah.
well, okay,
I'm a
Robert.
Libra. I'm a Libra, so I always try to balance things. I have like a balance
Me
of my.
too,
Are
Libra
you a
power.
Libra? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
October.
that's awesome. Yes, October, right?
Yeah,
October 2nd for me. What are
19.
you? 19th?
Yeah, end of
Oh
October.
wow. Oh,
So,
end of
yeah,
October.
Libra
Okay.
power. Libra power.
Libra, I'm telling you, it's like that Libra, you know, like, and it's just like for me when I was a little kid, I was like, I was like preschool and pre-K and all, or kindergarten. I would go in like a group of friends or kids, and I was like, automatically never want to beef with them. You ever know that about us Libras? Like, we just want to be like, we're friends. We're like, cool. We're not here to, you know, but if you push us too far, okay, there. But it's like, you know, it's just that balance. That's pretty cool though. Pretty cool
Yeah.
that you're a Libra. That's awesome. But yeah, I think we can wrap it up. And then you obviously got you know, my messenger and all that, and keep in touch through there and stuff like that.
Yeah, no,
Pretty cool.
I'm definitely gonna be following you and seeing what you're doing, because it will help me as well. Like my engagement could be better,
Hmm.
and so
Right.
we'll
With this
see
new
if you're.
extension, with this new extension, what I'll do is because there's a license to it, right? There's an extension license. So what I'll do is I'll get your position for it for free. So it's like just you'll be able to use the tool.
Oh,
So
cool.
you'll be able to use that. But what I'll do is, because it's going to be totally revamped and everything, what I'll teach you, because we can get on the Zoom and all that, but I'll teach you how to like pick through and properly get rid of inactive people with this new version and new entire UI. Because basically, getting rid of those inactive friends is really going to free up your entire page of truly organic based engagement. Because before you know it, you'll have a lifestyle picture, you know, and you'll have a really good rock climbing and all that, and you could go from the 50 likes all the way to, because they know Kim engages, that they'll be like, oh my gosh, I know she engages, she's incredible, she's always on my posts, to 150 to 170 to 200 plus people on your posts, and go, just like I just launched this new extension, see the wording, I'm on top of Mount Everest, or I'm on top of Mount wherever. And it's just that, it's that psychological. And before I know it, they're gonna be like, wow, I can't believe it. She's rock climbing again in California. There she goes again, but she's also launching business products, and it's pretty cool, you know? But
That's what I do. I
right,
live a life of adventure and I have
right,
business. Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Well, that sounds wonderful. Yes, I want to get
Yeah.
there.
You will. I mean, the thing is it takes a little time, right? I mean, it's just a little bit, but it also is like, it's rewarding because, like, it's funny because, like, I had a lot of friends before. This is like way, way back, but they would just comment on my posts. They wouldn't like click the love button, not know. It's like, guys, do you even know that like clicking the love button is actually what does the whole algorithm? Like, it's not just the comment, like a nice little cool. It's actually the love as well, because Facebook picks it up. And so it's funny because there'd be people that would just comment only on my posts, and I'm like, guys, no, 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 no. Like, you're not understanding what happens is it's actually just boosting my posts. You're not putting your post into my feed. But the moment you click the like and love, your content's thrown into my feed where I can click the button too. So it's just it's amazing magic that happens. And I've taught this to a lot of people, but you know, and then they start implementing, they're like, oh my gosh, like David Dopkins, obviously, is one of my buddies. And he gets, you know, 70, 100 plus loves and stuff on a lot of his posts. You'll even, if you scroll through, you'll find it, you know, 50, 70, 100, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
I'm gonna be
yeah.
one of your testimonials. 'Cause you've given me so much advice, and when you launch your course, I'll be like, yes, Robert, get his course.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah. But yeah, I'll let you go there. I was gonna ask you, in California, do you guys have Dutch Bros by chance? Trying to remember if you.
Do we have what?
It's like Dutch Bros. It's called. It's like coffee. It's like a coffee shop. I didn't know if you have them.
No, the biggest
Okay.
one is Starbucks.
Starbucks. Yeah, yeah, we have those, of course.
Yeah,
You
otherwise
have
it would be,
In-N-Out Burger. You have that?
yes, we have In-N-Out.
Yes, okay. That's my favorite. That's my favorite place. I love going there. And I don't like, I always try to be nice about it. Like, I'm like, okay, I don't want you to be, are you like vegetarian or any of that? Like, I respect all that, but I'm like, In-N-Out Burger. That's like that's my like love. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
there's
I'm sure
In-N-Out everywhere.
isn't it good though? You gotta admit, In-N-Out Burgers, like, it's
Yeah,
up
it's
there.
like premium quality chain.
Yeah,
So
right,
there's like
right.
premium, which is not chain restaurants, and then there's
Yeah,
premium chain restaurant, which is In-N-Out.
premium chain. Yeah. Yeah, it's like my love. Like, I mean, I try to like limit it, you know, like once every like 2 months, you know, like I try to eat healthy. I always try to eat healthy, but it's like In-N-Out Burger, yeah, that's good. That hits the spot, you know. But
Yeah.
but yeah, it was great chatting with you too, you know, one on one here, and then we'll be able to keep in touch. I got
Oh yeah.
Man, the battery on my Mac, I have the newest MacBook Air, you know,
Yeah.
and the battery life, guess what's at 40%? And that's after a Zoom, and I have like all these tabs open on Chrome. So that's pretty good to have 40% battery life and be on a Zoom that long.
Yeah, I have a
That's
MacBook
pretty,
too, but this is a computer that I'm on right now. Yeah, I
yeah,
like their battery life.
yeah, it's really good. So I'll let you go, my friend, and we'll chat you know, in a bit or whatever, well, you know, a couple days from now or whatever. You know, always reach out if you ever if you need anything. I'm always there.
Oh,
All
okay.
right?
Same here, ditto. All
Yes,
right, have a
absolutely.
great night. Bye,
You
Robert.
as well.
Oh yeah, if you liked that video, then you will love all the resources that I have over at kimcdang.com. That is KIMCDANG.com. robertmontgomery.com. There you will find all my courses, my extensions, all the offers that I have, as well as a lot of free resources if you are just getting started.